So my morning actually starts the day before. It starts the evening before when I go to bed nice and early. I've been getting up at about 5 a.m. just because that's what works for me with work, and so that means I'm in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock. I try and start winding down by about 8 o'clock, and yeah, always try and be in bed by 10 because it makes it so much easier to wake up in the morning. Early nights are seriously underrated. I allow myself to wake up gradually and try not to go on my phone first thing in the morning. This is a work in progress and I'm not perfect at it, but most of the time in the morning I just want to relax and give myself time to wake up. So one of the first things that I like to do is morning meditation. So that's just sitting still with my eyes closed. I usually do about 10 or 15 minutes, it depends on the day completely. But I found this really helpful in just centering myself and getting myself ready for the day. Yeah, it just gives me that peace and tranquility and just time to just see where my thoughts take me in the morning. So once I'm done, I go through into the other room and I just like to slowly turn on all the lights, allowing my eyes to wake up gradually because it's quite bright in the morning and my eyes don't like it when it's too bright. I then get dressed. I tend to get dressed in the living room rather than the bedroom just because this is a really small apartment and it just lets Dom have an extra few minutes in bed without me disturbing him. So for anyone who doesn't know, I actually work up a ski slope in New Zealand, so my morning routine might look a little bit different to yours. I have lots and lots of clothes to put on, so right now I'm just putting on my base layers and they keep me nice and warm throughout the day, but take quite a while to put on. Once that's done, I pop the kettle on and I just walk through into the bathroom and start to melt my deodorant. I make my own deodorant and it's made with coconut oil, and because it's so cold here, I like to melt it in the morning just to get it going so it's easier to apply. I also wash my face and go to the toilet and do other bathroom related things. I take my bubbles and my hairbrush through to the other room. Here I'm just making a coffee for Dom. He wakes up a little bit later than me, but I think it's a really nice thing in the morning just to make something for someone else. It's a little bit selfless. Two braids is my favourite hairstyle for work. It stops the wind from blowing them around and it just keeps them nice and contained. Here I am making my ceremonial cacao. I absolutely love this, it's become a new ritual for me and I highly recommend it. I'll chat about that more later on. So one of the first things that I like to do is to journal. I'm making sure that I spend more time on myself these days, and so I don't mind getting up that little bit earlier, just to make sure that I actually have time to do things that fill my cup. So one thing I'm doing is just tracking different things in my life, so sleep, mood, stress, when I get my period, and also food, so different types of foods and how I am with them, how bloated I am, and how I feel each day. And it's a really nice thing to look back throughout the month, and it just gives me that little feeling of accomplishment first thing in the morning. Once I'm done with that, I like to have a big drink of water. I try and drink at least half of this litre bottle before I leave for work, just because it gets me set, ready for the day ahead, because sometimes at work I don't get a chance to have a drink. This is something new that I've been doing recently, but I highly recommend it. It's called morning pages. So for me, I just write one page because my hand starts hurting before then. And you just basically write it. It's a stream of consciousness. So yeah, you just start writing and whatever comes to your brain, you write it down. It doesn't need to make any sense at all, but it's a really nice way of reflecting on how you feel, how your day went the day before, and what you feel about the day coming. And I really do enjoy doing this exercise, and I highly recommend it to anybody out there who's just wanting to feel more centered and more grounded in themselves. It doesn't take too long to do this, and yeah, it definitely improves my day. So once I'm done with that, I just go and sit down on the sofa and I drink my ceremonial cacao. I really love to just sit and think about how I feel and what my intention is for the day, and then I just blow. I blow that intention into the cup, which sounds quite strange, but it's a really peaceful thing to do in the morning and I really do enjoy it. And the cacao tastes delicious too, which is definitely a bonus. Around this time, Dom wakes up, so he starts work a lot earlier than me, but I make time for myself in the morning because it just makes me feel really good. So we usually have a little snuggle. This day that we filmed this was our 10th anniversary of being together, so it was a pretty loved up day. I like to put on some good tunes in the morning, just gets me going, gets me feeling good. So once Dom's up, that's what we do. We just have a little dance around and pack my lunch. Dom packs his bag, we get our snacks, make sure I've got everything for the day. There's nothing worse than forgetting something and you're all the way at work. And that's it. With that, Dom's out of the door. He obviously has a different morning routine to me. His is a lot more streamlined, but that's just the way he is and it's what makes him happy. So he just puts on his work clothes. We work at the same place, so he's very bundled up too. And he's out of the door by about 5:30, which is super duper early, but that's just what his job entails. And so once he's gone, it depends how I'm feeling for the day, but I love to have a little dance around, depending on what the music is that day. Sometimes it's just a really good way of releasing some energy in the morning and just getting your blood pumping, and it just puts me in such a good mood for the day. Like I said though, this depends on the day entirely, and something that I really do like to do and make time for every day is to stretch. So my job is a lot of shoveling and a lot of standing on my feet all day, and I've noticed that my shoulders are getting really tight, so I really like to do this yoga. It's like a 10-minute yoga with Leslie Fightmaster. I'll leave the link below, and it's just focused on shoulders and arms and neck, so it's a really nice way of just being able to stretch them out before I start the day, because like I said, I get quite achy throughout the day, so this is just a really nice release, and it only takes 10 minutes. Once I'm finished with my yoga, I like to make the bed. So Dom usually makes half the bed and I make the rest because I like things to look really neat and tidy. It makes me very happy, so I just fold our blankets up and pop them to one side. It's really nice coming home to a made bed. It's something that I've done for years. It's been drilled into me since childhood, and yeah, it definitely improves my day. I also like to open the blind, and once I go out of the house, I like to just open the window to let the fresh air in while we're out of the house for the day. Now I just put on some of my many more layers that I have for the day. I've got my buff and my nice cozy hat. And another coat. And some salopettes. I put my outdoor shoes on, and once I get to work I change into my snowboard boots for the day. It's honestly like a jigsaw trying to get dressed in the morning, and I have to give myself an extra 5 or 10 minutes in the morning just to get ready to leave. It's crazy. With that, I put my nice big coat on. I'm never cold in all of these clothes. If anything, I am too hot, but it's nice that this is given to us, you know, it keeps me nice and warm. One thing that I really love doing is listening to a really inspiring podcast in the morning. One of my favourite people at the moment is Robin Sharma. I'll leave a link to some of his podcasts below. But yeah, I really am enjoying these, and it's a good way to just feel inspired and motivated for the day ahead. And with that, I'm out of the door at 6:45, so yep, I got up at 5 and I don't leave the house till 7. But this is what makes me happy, and I don't feel tired at all doing this because I'm getting enough sleep. And that's me out of the door and on my way to work. The sun usually rises on the bus on the way to work, which takes about half an hour. So it's just a really nice way to start the day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Please share it with anyone who you think will enjoy it, and have a fantastic day. Bye guys.